Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys. Today, we are going to be answering questions that y'all put down, reading y'all's comments yesterday. It's something I like to do every single Saturday morning. Sometimes the videos run a little bit longer. Sometimes they don't take as long. But it's a real simple. If you wrote a comment on yesterday's video, we answer that comment, let you know my thoughts on it, and we read them out loud. And you guys get to listen in and hear your comment and then get a reply specifically to your comment. And sometimes those comments get pretty detailed. It takes a little time. So the videos do sometimes run a little bit long. However, it kind of guarantees people get to really understand viewpoints on more specific things that they're trying to get answered. So with that being said, yesterday's video was what people don't know about silver, why silver is going higher in price. Even though we did see a big dip on Friday, did we really see a big dip? We didn't even go back to the Monday price. So it wasn't really like it was any kind of a huge beatdown. Yes, it looked a little devastating when you look at the chart here. Let's make sure that is refreshed just so you can actually see the full damage of what's going on. But yeah, it went down a $1.63, and it did, like I said, it did look bad. It started early. Early in the morning, we were at 64.50 essentially, and then we plunged all the way down to $60.90 roughly at the low, 80 cents, and then we've seen it start slowly coming back up. We'll see how that plays out. A lot of people wondering, are we going to see the dip continue on Sunday night? There's still a lot of stuff going on. We've previously talked about that in recent videos this month, and essentially a lot of silver is being called on demand in December, at the end of December 28th to be specific. And so we'll see how that will play out. Taking a quick look at assets based by market capitalization, we did see silver actually drop back into the 6th place spot. But when you see a 4.5% drop, that was pretty devastating for a lot of people. But with the amount that we've gone up in the recent times, it's not really that devastating at all. Taking a quick look at the Bitcoin price before we get started reading the comments. We do have Bitcoin trading at 90,385. So we're looking pretty good for those of you that are still in Bitcoin. I still worry about Bitcoin. A lot of people think Bitcoin is the future. The blockchain, I believe, is the future. But as for Bitcoin being the future, personally, I'm still not convinced. But we'll see. Time will tell. Maybe I'm wrong, and Bitcoin is just going to go to the moon. Taking a quick look at the DXY. DXY right now trading at 98.39. Down a little bit, but nothing major to really worry about. And the U.S. debt clock sitting at 38,472 billion. So a lot of good numbers there. When you look at what we've seen throughout the numbers so far today, obviously the debt is still climbing, though. So that's kind of not good for the long run and not good for the dollar, but we'll see how it plays out. Taking a quick look at the comments. This is the main part of the video today that a lot of people like to hear, so I'm going to read through them. Some of them are just simple comments, good morning, I love the channel, something like that. And some of them are questions that people actually have and they want to get answered. So starting out right off, Scott McNeil with the first one. Hey T, looks like your new thumbnails are pulling more views and likes. Great job. So some of y'all know I have been testing out AI making my thumbnails for me. And the only thing I do after AI makes the thumbnails is I put my little T-Square Talk logo sticker right there. I slap the subscribe button in. People that are combing through videos, they instantly see that, and if they like the channel already, it comes up in their feed. They click it and then they see what's going on. Over here, you can see it in the middle. So I do make sure that I use them pretty much all the time. I have had someone a friend of mine that actually does advertising and marketing for a living, say he thinks I don't really need it. I don't need that. I don't need the subscribe button. But here's the thing. I'm trying to grow the channel. I constantly have to remind people to subscribe because a lot of people forget to hit that subscribe button, and we are trying to grow the channel. But the AI thumbnails definitely look different than when I usually do. These are my old style thumbnails. Some people have even came out and said it's too busy. I don't know what's going on. The new thumbnails, I think they have a cool look to them. It's interesting. I'll be honest, when it pops out for me, the thumbnail, I'm usually pretty excited to see what it looks like too. So moving on to the next comment. Thank you so much, Scott. Is Calvin. I would not have been dollar cost averaging into silver this past year without your daily videos. Thank you so much, Calvin. I super appreciate that. I really do mean that. Like I said, you guys are like family to me, and it means a lot that you guys enjoy the videos and that I'm helping people out. I'm actually currently working on putting a class together now for somebody, and we'll see how that plays out. I will actually use all the thumbnails. I shouldn't say thumbnails. All the topics in a future series of videos. That way people can put comments in there, and those comments I will probably incorporate into each chapter. I've got 10 chapters right now, not written out, but 10 chapters documented, what they're going to be on. And so I will be talking more about that as I go. I may even do a book this year. That may be one of my goals. I've said I wanted to do it before, and then I keep dropping the ball every year where other stuff comes up and I never get around to finishing it. Maybe this will be the year though. So thank you. I do appreciate you leaving that comment for me. Okay, next comment. Let me just move that up just a little bit. Okay, Tangled Up in Blue. Will you talk about what silver margin requirement increase means? Explain it like I'm a 5-year-old. So I love the way you wrote that. Explain it like I'm a 5-year-old. So that right there is a actual quote from, what movie was it? Give me a quick second. I've got the scene in my mind. He comes into the office at 2 a.m. Oh my word, how did I forget that? Do you know why I am sitting in this chair? It's my job to tell you when the music stopped. And right now, I don't hear a single sound. So, what does this mean for my company? And it goes on the story. Someone put in the comments. Someone put the name of the movie. I've watched it literally 100 times. And when I say 100 times, I do not mean that as a like a rough guess. I've watched it every bit of 100 times. Well, the music hasn't stopped. If the music stopped, the housing market would be collapsed and your company would be worthless. Somebody tell me the name of the movie. It's driving me nuts now. Well, I can't think of it right now. It'll come to me. But here's the thing on that comment. Unfortunately, I have not confirmed the margin requirements changing. I heard about that this evening. I will be doing a video on that, because if what I heard is correct in what you just said, talk about the silver margin. So a silver margin requirements, I believe that it is more for people that are buying silver. They don't want people to be able to margin on the buy. We've talked about what a margin is. A margin is essentially when you're buying 1 ounce or 1 share of something, and essentially you're able to play it as if it's 5 shares. If the stock or the ounce goes up, you're making 5 times the profits. If the price goes down, you're losing 5 times the profit. Now, here's the thing. People that margin, this is extremely dangerous, first of all, because you're essentially, if we just see a temporary drop in the silver price, a sharp decline, if they have a 5-to-1 margin, we see a 20% drop, your position is totally sold off, and it allows the silver price to collapse. Because if everybody's positions get sold off instantly, well, that's dangerous. And that worries me, because if the silver price did collapse, bullion dealers, first of all, would stop selling. We've seen this happen before, where they just literally close up, send everybody home, and say, come back to work on Friday, and we'll start back up again. Or come back to work the following Monday, and we'll start back up again fresh. But as of right now, we're not willing to sell silver for these ridiculously low prices, because we understand it's paper. But what I heard about margin requirements is basically it could slow down if they make the requirements increase them. That means you essentially have to have more capital in order to do it. And if that's the case, you're basically cutting people out of the market. Your small players will not be able to buy, essentially, on margin. They'll want you to have more capital involved in it. Why does that happen? Obviously, some people think there is a lot of risk right now with the high silver price. And on the flip side of that, there are people out there that want to make sure the price of silver can't keep going up. So if that is correct, what I heard, I will be talking about that in an upcoming video once I can confirm that. I know that may not have been the full answer you're looking for, but I think it did explain it. I mean, think about it. If the price of copper keeps going up, or the price of silver keeps going up, and I now say you have to have $1 million to use margin accounts, or 100,000 to have margin accounts, and before I didn't have any limits, well, now anybody that had under $1 million is no longer allowed to buy. If they can't buy, that takes the pressure off of silver going higher. There's a lot of short positions in silver. They are losing hundreds of millions of dollars right now, billions of dollars. They've got to find a way to slow the selling down. The problem is, I'm not convinced the majority of the buying is happening here in the United States. I'm convinced a lot of the buying is going overseas, and all they're doing is cutting Americans out of buying and essentially leaving other countries to be able to buy. So we'll see how that plays out. I hope that answer kind of helped you out a little bit. Robert, good morning, Robert. Morning tea. Watching you with a cup of coffee and a big smile on my face. UK Wealth Preservation Society. Absolutely. I had a big smile on my face when you put that comment 18 hours ago. We did see a little bit of a dip, like I said, a $2 dip. A lot of people got discouraged, but is a $2 dip really worth being discouraged? We gave back 2 days gains. That's it in one day. To me, all that did was just reinforce someone buying. There are people now that are just buying right now. They're buying the dip, and they ain't at all worried about it. So we'll see. There's a lot of excitement with silver up over 100% for the year. Demand, I think, is still really good, and I think it's going to keep moving up. Reckless Collections, how's it going this morning? Hope you're having a great morning. Thank you so much for putting the comment in there saying good morning. I appreciate it. Jack, how's it going, Jack? Thanks, T. Buckle up. Silver isn't slowing down. It did slow down a little bit today after you wrote this comment, but nothing I am worried about. Like I said, 1 day drop is nothing. It's just a springboard, like you're getting on a diving board. You take that first big step out to the end of the diving board, and you see that diving board just drop. That's what I think we're seeing right now. We've seen that drop. Now get ready for the spring effect higher. Will the drop keep going down just a little bit Sunday night, maybe even part of the week next week? Yes. But I think we have a lot to look at, potential for silver going a whole lot higher. Let's see. Buffalo Silver, what is up, buddy? I hit a coin show today, got some junk silver at $57 an ounce. I did overbuy a little, but I think it's worth it. I got half dollars and dimes. A good day to pick up silver. That sounds like you did very well. $57 an ounce. You could still see the price fall by $5, and you're still above water on that. So you did very well, I think, on that. There is a lot of people selling because a lot of people are taking profits. They think silver has gone too high. I don't even begin to think we are at an all-time high right now. I think we are going to see a lot of selling right now, and we'll see it dip down a little bit, and then all of a sudden the selling will slow because the sellers have sold their silver, and people will keep buying, and that's it. Supply is dwindling. And when I say supply, I mean above ground supply, not what's in the ground, not paper ounces. I'm talking the stuff that you can physically use to build jewelry, Tomahawk missiles, solar panels, batteries, cell phones, computers, laptops. The list goes on and on and on. So I'm not sweating it all, and see what happens. Let's see. I really appreciate the value of my half-ounce silver rounds. And today, a smart way to get into silver. A tube of half-ounce rounds feels pretty nice today. Yes, I have a bunch of half-ounce silver rounds. I actually have a bunch sitting right beside, not a bunch, but I have like 10 sitting right beside me that I picked up fairly recently. I got lucky. I picked up 2 half-ounce rounds for the same price I would have paid for 1 ounce. And so, personally, I think it's a good deal. It's easier divisible as the price goes up. People will still be able to afford them. And, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So, thank you so much, Map to the Kingdom. I appreciate that. And I thank you for watching the live stream last night. I did see you on the live stream, Map of the Kingdom. Or Map to the Kingdom. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining me on the live stream last night. And anybody that don't know, that live stream is posted, so you can click on lives, click on the most recent one. I think you'll enjoy it. What is up, Dan? Dan writing, T, thanks. I'm stacking and stacking. Yes, even with the price, I can at least buy an ounce or 2. Long term, it's been held down for so long. It's our time now. For silver, everyone wants a microwave. Stack now. They want it now. We in the stacking community know exactly what silver is doing right now, and we have waited too long for this, and now we earned it. I totally agree with getting a nice piece of land, a home with a nice lake view, or a mountain retreat. Absolutely. So that is my dream. I will eventually sell when silver really climbs up high enough. I believe that I can utilize that money for something really good. But we'll see how that plays out. It takes time. Silver is on the climb, I believe. And I think a lot of the weak cans are selling out right now. We are in the baby phase, essentially, of where silver is going to go, I think. So, okay, continuing on with the comments. And thank you so much, Dan. Okay, Mr. Happy Stacker 69. How's it going, buddy? Thank you also for hitting that live stream last night. Hey, T, good morning. The free movie on YouTube with ads today is The Big Short. Oh my word. That was the name of the movie that I was trying to think of 5 minutes ago in the video. So I definitely got to give you the prize, I guess. There is not really a prize, but for calling the name of the movie before anybody else. Laughing my butt off. Coincidence, huh? Well, it's definitely coincidence that you wrote this comment 18 hours ago when I only asked the question 5 minutes ago, the name of the movie. The name of the movie was The Big Short. If anybody hasn't seen that movie, obviously it's the free movie with ads right now on YouTube. So for those of you that don't know what that means, YouTube puts out so many movies a day as the free movie of the day, and you get to watch name movies, hot movies, with no ads that you might have to pay on Netflix or on Zulu or whatever the movie platforms are that you pay. But The Big Short, it's an incredible movie. It talks about the housing market. It talks about how huge companies let the price go down. Well, the price was going down, but they hit it until they unloaded their position. And I think that's exactly what's happening with silver. Silver price is rising a lot faster than you think. The silver price is rising. They know it's rising, but they're trying to hide it until they can unload their short positions on silver. Once they have unloaded their entire short position, then that is where the switch will be flipped, and we will see probably a big move higher, I think. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. If you haven't watched the movie The Big Short, definitely go check it out. It's got some funny scenes. It's got some crazy scenes like how people could take out liar loans. There was one stripper that she had like 5 houses, and she's just working at a strip club in the evening, and she's got 5 houses. And when they break down this whole thing to her, she's like, well, wait a minute. That means I could lose my houses. And they're like, what do you mean houses? We just talked about one house. She goes, yeah, but I got 5 of them. And they're like, how did you get finance for 5 houses? She goes, I was told I could just say I make whatever I want. And people that actually did this, for those of you that don't know, they didn't verify. They were called liar loans during that time period because literally no one gave a crap what was in the loan because they sold the loan off. Somebody, an underwriter, writes the loan up, says your house is worth $200,000, $300,000. It doesn't matter because they're not the one holding it. As soon as they got 100 of them, 200 of them, they package them all up and they label them as a good asset, and then they sell them to a hedge fund or something, or a retirement fund or something. And these retirement funds or these companies think that, oh, we're getting good solid assets. But the thing is, they knew those people weren't qualified for those loans. But it didn't matter because at the end of the day, it's going to be someone else's problem. And by the end of the day, I technically mean it took 2 weeks, essentially, for them to package the loans, process them, send them out. If you haven't seen The Big Short, go and watch it. It's a great movie. So awesome that comment actually came in, Mr. Happy Stacker. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you're like, what? Because I was just stuck trying to think of the movie name. Okay. Next one. And I can't pronounce your name. I apologize. How do you recommend leaving silver to your heirs? My concern is that any physical will just be taken by the shady relatives or whoever happens to be going through my belongings, and they won't follow my will. So, okay, anything I say on here is not financial advice. I'm just giving you my personal opinion of how I would consider looking into some of this. And here's the thing. Mr. Happy Stacker, the comment before you, I've told his story 100 times on the channel. He knows it. He didn't mind me sharing it. He used to be called the Reluctant Stacker because he inherited a bunch of silver from his late father and didn't really believe in it. What the heck? Who does this? Who puts their money into some silver coins? So a lot of people don't even know what it is. Now, the question comes up is, have you taught someone? You know, there's a lot of different ways you can handle it. I would end up, depending on how old you are, and everybody's situation is a little different. If I was relatively young, I wouldn't worry too much about it. If I'm older, then, and you've got a lot of relatives. See, I'm not lucky enough to have a big family anymore. All my family are pretty much passed away. And I have a son. And so I don't have the kind of family like that are all going to be in my house when I pass away, or going into my safety deposit boxes, or going into my storage units. I don't really worry a ton about that. My house, yes, I guess maybe someone might come in and grab something, but there's not much at my house. I have given, personally, I've told my son where my key is for my safety deposit boxes. He has to go in with a death certificate to the bank, show it to them. Not everybody believes in safety deposit boxes. That's why I say everybody's situation is a little different. He goes in with that, and then he has access to them boxes. At that point, he would sign out 3 boxes to himself, or maybe he could put those in the same box and take over the billing on those boxes. He's been instructed to do that instantly. One of the things, if nobody knows what you have, I'm pretty public, so I know right off someone's listening to this and they're like, dude, you're freaking crazy. You put your stuff in a bank box. Yes, I do. And there's a reason why. Because I am pretty public. People know what I do. A certain amount of people. Too many people. I've told this time and time again. My house has been broken into. I mean, they probably went in here and they were just like, what the heck? But they did end up stealing a bunch of stuff. My entertainment system, my medicine cabinet, camera, candy bowl, some miscellaneous stuff. No silver. Why? Because they didn't really see the couple ounces that I had sitting there. I actually had a friend. He was up in Houston. His truck got broken into. He had 4 ounces of silver sitting right there in the center console. The person opened up the center console, threw it on the floor, threw the papers on the floor, took out the pair of sunglasses, took out a knife that was in there, and took a couple of miscellaneous items. He told me, when he told me that story, I said, that means they physically had 4 ounces of silver in their hand, and they took the time to throw it on the floor. They busted in the passenger side. They opened the door. They opened the center console and just started throwing stuff on the driver's side of floor. And sure enough, that was how it went down. People don't even understand silver. One thing, though, if I was secretive, in your case, you probably don't tell the world what you have. Maybe you even have a nice safe with a combination. If that was the case, I would end up taking, from what I understand, it's a 6-digit combination. I would get a sealed envelope, put 3 digits in it, and give it to one person. With the instructions, if I ever pass away, please give this envelope to my son, and he is going to give you something that will already be designated. You don't need to know what it is right now. And I would give the other 3 digits to somebody else in a sealed envelope. 2 people don't know who each other are. One of them could even be the heir that you want to have your silver. He already has 3 digits. He just has to get the other 3 digits. That would probably even be the best scenario because he's got 3 digits, so no one can talk him out of it. He already knows it's his. And the person that has the second 3 digits, what can they do? I mean, there's different ways to play it out. That's called 2-person security. It's something we did in the military. I had one combo, and one of the other gentlemen had a second combo. Both combos had to be entered back to back in order to open the crypto safe with all the top secret information. So it's hard for any one person. Even banks do this. Banks usually have a teller and a office person to open a safe. 2 people have to do it together, and both of them have to be separate departments. So you can't go and kidnap 2 tellers at the front and pop open the vault. There's a lot of little tricks that you can do to kind of protect your belongings. If you just got it sitting in a desk drawer, someone's going to ransack it. Someone's going to see it. If they know what it is, they're taking it with them. I would definitely tell the person that you want to have it ahead of time. I don't know if that answered the question perfectly. Nothing is finite. I've heard of crazy stuff happening. I've heard of relatives taking everything. I've heard of lawyers taking stuff when this all goes down. So a lot of stuff can go wrong. Good morning, T. Let's talk silver and silver. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gregory. We definitely talk in silver, and we're answering y'all's questions. Randy, what is up, my friend? I hope you're having a great day. We are having a pullback right now, $60.93 at the moment. Pretty good drop. I can see them now. Silver got crushed today. That will be the headline later. I think they're probably going to try to crush it even a little bit more on Sunday night. But they were lucky, I think. They were lucky that they were able to crush it that much because there's a lot of buyers that went home early. And if you look at when silver was really getting crushed, a lot of people went home at lunchtime. It's Friday. I mean, I don't know about you. Who's ever skipped out of work on a Friday? Everybody's busy. We're in the middle of getting into the holiday times. And so, yeah, I'm convinced that's what happened. They knew, they planned it out to do it Friday. We'll take it down a little bit more maybe on Sunday night. Monday morning, everybody comes back into work, and that's it. Now, I need to look and see when the Chinese holiday is. There is what's called the Golden Week. I think that is going to be a devastating week for silver because when China closes down for their Golden Week, I can't remember, though, if it's in December or if it's in February. I will be looking that up and probably talking about that before the week starts, because if everybody in China is taking a week off, you can expect the U.S. markets, J.P. Morgan, the big companies are going to try to beat silver down during that time period. That is when they will try to do it. But how much higher can it go? And what we always see is as soon as they open the markets back up in China the week later, boom, we see it just go crazy. So I think we'll see that probably again. Mr. Haggader, tune, are the good times really over? Wish a buck was still silver. Oh, so that might be based off my short. I don't know who sung it. I'm guessing that is the name of the person that sung that tune that I used on a short. I don't even know. I sometimes will type in certain keywords and hear the song, and then, use it as a 1-minute short. So I'm thinking that's what you meant by that. I don't know who sung the song yesterday that I chose. It might have been that song that you just mentioned. Okay, let's see. Those bonds suck. My mom found my last bond. It was $250, way past the majority day. I walked out of the bank with almost $1,100. Silver or gold or platinum or even copper would have netted me way more of a better return. Absolutely. My son asked me the same thing. He's like, this is ridiculous. He invested $50 that long ago, and that's all it netted me. 75 in 21 years. He's 21 now. So, people didn't know. I hate to say it. People get taken advantage all the time. It ain't the worst. I actually had someone. So this class that I'm actually working on, some of y'all know, I talked about it in the live stream last night. I talked about it briefly in the beginning. I'm going to end up doing some different videos on it so I can get some good comments that I can kind of tie into the chapter. But there was an old man that bought like $10,000 worth of silver online. It was all fake. People get taken advantage of on all kinds of stuff. It's not just bonds. They also get taken advantage of on silver. You have to know what you're buying, who you're buying from, and that, to really do well. Sabrina, long time no see. I hope you're having a great one. Let's see. I'm watching you still. $64. Hi-ho, silver away. Absolutely. We did see a little bit of a pullback today. I'm not worried at all. Sabrina, if you're stacking, I know you're doing well. And that goes for pretty much anybody stacking. But it is really good to see your comment. I haven't seen you in a little while, so hopefully everything's going well for you. I know life gets super busy this time of the year, and sometimes people just can't watch the videos. Sometimes people just are doing their everyday life. They've got the video playing in the background. They're kind of listening in, and they're just working on this stuff, so you never really see them comment. So either way, it's great to see your comments, Sabrina. I hope you and your family are doing great. What is up, P. Low in the house? How's it going? Morning T. If your old phone is an Android, save the pics to the Google Cloud. That way you can retrieve them from your Google account instead of needing the old phone. Interesting. So I've actually gotten an email before. It said my cloud is full. I'm not sure what any of that means. I don't even know what cloud is. There was actually a clip that, what was it? How did she say it? I wish I could remember. One of the politicians, I think it was even Nancy Pelosi, was talking about cloud storage. Might have been Hillary Clinton, and trying to make it sound like she knows what she's talking about, and says, yeah, the files are backed up to the cloud. This way we'll always have a hard copy of them and they can never get lost. And I'm like, what? And I'll be honest, I'm not a techie person, but it was just funny. I know the cloud is digital, and then you hope you can retrieve it on another device and then put it on your phone. But either way, a hard copy is only if you have a physical hard copy in a filing cabinet or in a picture frame or that type of stuff. So, but that actually makes sense. I appreciate that, Pilo. I will probably see. I don't think the old flip phones, though, necessarily had the cloud per se, and the screen's broken. So I don't even know if there's a way. I think there might be a way to plug the phone into some kind of a cord that goes to USB on one end and a phone charger other end, and then basically you're looking at the computer and it's basically making it look like the phone, and then you can actually do stuff without being able to see the screen. So I don't know. I'll get to it eventually as I start kind of downsizing a bunch of junk. What is up, Reese? During hyperinflation, precious metals should appreciate more than land. The reason is that many people without metal or any form of money will become very poor and start to sell everything they can in order to get food, medicine, energy, etc. There will be many homes and much land for sale in exchange for precious metals. That's kind of what I'm hoping will happen. It's hard to see housing prices coming down for a lot of people, including myself, when housing prices have just been on a tear. But luckily, with all the houses that are being built, if things did start collapsing and people didn't have money, there's a possibility, and I have seen this closer to 2008, where people were dumping their houses, moving in with their in-laws. You know what? Come back home, sell the house. You can live with us. When we pass away, you're going to get the house anyway. It will be great to have you back. You can help us out with the bills. And a lot of people did that. And I think a lot of people will do that again. And you're right. That will lead to a lot of deals out there. So who knows? We'll see how that plays out. I think when stuff starts collapsing, I do think precious metals, specifically silver, will come down temporarily because the industrial demand just won't be there as much. But, with that being said, I think the demand for people holding something physical will be there. And by then, we could already see gold-silver ratio, 30, 20. It will be interesting to see how that plays out. John, what's up? Morning, folks. Still plugging along this morning. And to the positive side, price-wise, guess I get 3 ounces this week instead of 5. Well, here's the thing. You wrote that comment 18 hours ago. If you didn't make it to go get those 3 ounces right then and there, you're probably going to pick up 5 instead, because we did see a nice little drop, a couple dollars, but there's a lot of panic setting in now. The panic is making weak hands sell, so there is opportunity. I told you guys I picked up a bunch at 58. Multiple other people's left comments that said they got some at 58, $8.57. I picked up some silver quarters at $8. Me and another member of the channel went to a pawn shop, picked them up for $8 a piece. There is opportunities out there, so definitely keep your eyes open. Nunya, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. We need to value dollars in how much silver it buys you, not the other way around. So absolutely. So one of the things that I do is whenever I'm about ready to buy something, I ask myself, is this worth an ounce of silver? This evening or last night, I went out to eat. I had a nice seafood boil. Not a whole lot of potatoes. I think there was one piece of potato in there. A fair amount of corn, some sausage, a couple pounds of shrimp, and I was going to joke and say a half a cow, but I'm just going to say a bunch of steaks because it was all you could eat for the same price. Went to Golden Corral, and I spent on that meal roughly $35. I did use the app, so I got lucky and didn't have to pay anything. However, I look at it as $35, roughly a half an ounce of silver. A good deal. A good deal. It was the only meal I ate really yesterday. I spent most of my day hanging out with a member, a friend. We jumped around, and then once I got back, I was starving, and me and my son went to eat there. So it was a pretty good day. And I picked up some great deals on them quarters, like I said. So pretty interesting. And I made a couple of trades here and there with a couple people throughout the day. So let's see. Do your videos get better views on the days we are allowed to hype them up? So it would appear if you have the hype button, but you only get 3 hype buttons a week, if you even get them. Not everybody gets a hype button. How you use them, I don't totally understand all the details of it because it is in the beta version. One country already rolled out the hypes. You actually have to buy the hypes, and you get to hype up your favorite channel. So supposedly it does increase the views, but we're talking marginal. Enough that I'll take every little one I can get. What drives me nuts is the subscriber ratio. I literally have only gained 9 subscribers so far in 13 days. That, to me, is a very low subscriber rate for the amount of views that I get. A lot of work goes into the videos. A lot of time, really, is what it is. And then an equal amount of time goes into the commenting. That's why I kind of like the Saturday videos, because all of these comments that I'm reading right now are all going to have the same reply to them. They're going to have a thumbs up, they're going to have a heart, and it's going to have a notice that says, thank you so much. We talked about your video, your comment on our Saturday morning video. Be sure to check it out. Something along those lines. Sometimes I tailor it a little bit, but that is pretty common. That way I can crush through 50 comments in literally like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So it makes my Friday night, Saturday morning a little bit easier. Okay, scrolling down for the next comment. So yes, though, it does help if you're able to hype them. Okay, Joe, pretty sure it's... I'm not sure what you're saying there. Preci? Not farce. I'm not even sure what that means. I could be wrong. No big deal. Laugh out loud. I'm not really sure if that means I mispronounced. So some of y'all have to understand my background. I started out at my young years not even really having to go to school. I was ultra poor. I lived with my mom, single mom, 2 kids, literally struggling to make ends meet. And I didn't go to school a lot. I skipped a lot of school because there was no forcefulness, I guess you can say. Nobody to demand that I go to school. I wasn't a big fan of school. It wasn't until I moved in with my dad. And once I moved in with him, it was my way or the highway. And if you fail anything, you ain't going anywhere except for school and home. That happened the first time. Then the second semester living with him, the reward system came up. $100 for straight A's, $50 for A's and B's, and I was determined to get every penny I could. I did value money heavily, and I still kind of value money heavily. I know that's not probably the right way to look at our lives, but I do value money very heavily in mine. Then when I went in the military, I was lucky enough to have someone show me some ropes. And it was basically, if you want to go to school while you're in the military, they'll let you miss work to go to college, and they'll pay for it. So many people don't want to put in the effort, and so they don't go to school. I was lucky enough to get 3 college degrees from the military, whether that be on active duty or once I got out, finished it off using GI Bills and this and that. I was asked by my son, what's my thoughts on college? You know, if I had to pay for it, I think it's overpriced. I say I don't even use this stuff anymore, but I had someone say that's not accurate. You may not be using it. You've got a degree in business management, marketing, electrical, and even what I like to joke is basket weaving, a liberal arts degree, which is basically a general degree. I say I don't use them, but some people would say that's not true. You're using it. You just ain't using it this typical way at a company. You're using it on yourself. You're using your marketing. You're using all that stuff with your YouTube channel, with your everyday life. So who knows? That's a possibility. So if I say something, I had someone leave me a comment the other day. It's saw, not seen, or something along those lines. To me, I figure y'all understand what I'm saying. I do try to make it sound easier than it is, because so many people want to complicate this stuff. They want to get up there, tell you big words. Not me. This stuff ain't difficult. You are picking up on it. Every one of you that watch these videos on a regular basis, I am convinced, are in a way better position. You're picking up on what's going on. You guys are going to be the winners when everything happens. And so if I do say something, I know it's no big deal, and I'm reading your comment. I'm looking at your comment while I'm talking. I could be wrong, no big deal. So, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I just don't always pronounce words exactly right. It's not my strength. Pronunciation. I've had some people say, how do you pronounce what is a ka? And I'm like, it's a Yankee that moved to Texas is what it is, because I'm not from here either. So being military, bounced around, sometimes my vocabulary is a little strange. Pop, soda, that type of stuff. I always get a kick when I hear different words that mean the same thing. Okay. Next comment. Mainstream media is not covering silver, so it's not surprising that most folks are not aware of silver spiking up. Oh, they're going to cover it this weekend. You're going to see the headlines. Silver takes devastating blow down such and such percent at the time of writing this article. And they're going to take the biggest drop point that they can to put in the article. Who knows? We don't know if they wrote that article when silver was at 60, 61, 62, 63. They're going to use the furthest number that they can support for their claim. And that's understandable. They want to trash talk silver. They don't want you investing in silver. Mainstream medias are all owned by like 5 or 6 families, and them families are trying to acquire every ounce they can get their hands on. I'd sell my stack at $200 per an ounce to pay off my 2025 Corolla Hybrid. Here's the thing about that. By the time silver hits $200, you may not want to sell it. I said I would sell my stack when silver hit $50. I would sell half of it. I'm sorry. I said I would sell half my stack at $50. And I've had people ask me, but you said that. How come you ain't doing it now? Because now I understand more than I understood then. At a certain point down the road, 2025 Corolla means you probably got a 6-year payment. By 2030, everything could have already been busted, and silver and gold are what people are after. And you're probably not going to give away your silver and gold for $200 at that point, I don't think. But who knows? Maybe you will. I think people will probably just be letting go of their cars by 2030 and not caring about it. Why pay the bill? Just let it go. You may be talking about a COMEX bot. So that I'm not sure what I was talking about specifically in the video. To my knowledge, a COMEX bot would be basically a bot that is basically flipping silver, selling contracts, purchasing physical. It's high frequency trading. It's moving quicker than anybody else. If it sees that silver's about ready to drop heavily, it will all of a sudden start selling and let it go lower faster. And then all of a sudden it will flip a switch and start buying back up again and making that spread. Bots are quicker than people. Their programs, their algorithms, and they're designed to beat you and me. So let's see, John. In my mind, you will never see $50 silver again. Whoo! That's gutsy to say that one. I think temporary paper price, it could happen for a limited time, but no one's going to be selling. I won't sell at 50 at this point. Dealers will close down after we see like a $5 or $10 drop. They'll shut down their doors. They'll jack premiums so you ain't getting it for 50. If silver was to drop right now $12 to $50, yeah, maybe you'll see it, but they're probably going to close down. I mean, we've seen silver go from $18 to $11, and all of a sudden all the dealers shut down, sent everybody home. They weren't selling. Same thing could happen then. So, I mean, anything can happen, but will you be able to pick up silver? I'm not convinced you will, unless you're just extremely lucky. Owning property / land isn't possible. You may hold the deed, yet failure to pay property taxes means a seizure of your property. We lost our country. Doesn't matter who is in office. They still work for the same people, not the working class. So there's a few loopholes with that, but yes, that would be accurate. Some states have zero taxes for military. There are reasons for that. I'm not going to go all into the whole Disability Act, the state laws, state legislation, because everybody here is in different states. Check your state. What do they do for veterans? What are the benefits? Check for your write-offs. I mean, if you can get a deduction, I'll give you some examples. You could have what's called a homestead exemption. It means you live in your house, so they drop your taxes down a certain amount. If your house is valued at $200,000 and you're a homestead, they give it a $25,000, $30,000 break on them taxes. Bring it down. Who knows what percent? Every state is different. You could have military veteran that gets you a discount. You could have disability, senior citizen. That brings your taxes down. You could have ag exemption, which means if you have, each state is different. For Texas, if you have 10 beehives, ag exemption. If you grow so much percentage of your land and you produce so much hay, ag exemption. If you have so many cows, 10 cows, I think, on your land, ag exemption. These exemptions are designed to get you to do certain things. Grow hay for livestock, raise cattle, promote the bee pollination, help Texas farmers, this and that. Each state is different, though. Each person should do their own research. Go to wherever you pay your taxes. Talk to them about potential exemptions. They may redirect you to the actual website for your state. But sometimes if you're cool and you butter up to these people, be friendly, they may work with you and just tell you what they already know or what they've seen. And it really gives you an advantage, I think. But yeah, Do we really ever own anything? Everything is taxed nowadays. Your car has taxes. Everything's got taxes. They will tax you when you make it, when you spend it, when you earn it, when you give it, when you croak with it, when you inherit it. Your money is taxed 20 times every which way it's Sunday. So don't let the naysayers get to you. Mike, this is Mike's comment. I'm moving on to the next comment. Mike's comment. Don't let the naysayers get to you. When whatever resolution unfolds with the economy, the future of the dollar, or investments of any type, there will be those that will wish they had made the right or other choices. Everyone is taking a gamble, whether they know it or not. History tells us, though, that precious metals hold value when everything else doesn't. If the dollar fails, it will be snatched. It will be the snitch that exposed all the lies throughout the system. The banks are positioning themselves for the coming chaos. Let me extend that. By buying precious metals to back their balance sheets before the paper becomes useless. The governments will swoop in with a digital currency, and it won't be Bitcoin. It will be something they control it, can issue with a push of a button, and can confiscate as needed based on whatever exists they prefer. When the new value is determined, precious metals will carry over their value to the new system because the dollar will be unable or unusable, is what I think that meant, will be unusable. The financial chaos, the financial currencies, their values will all be based on the dollar because they were never able to be used in everyday commerce to determine their actual buying power. They are as make-believe as the tooth fairy, who coincidentally pays in dollars. I like that ending. The tooth fairy who coincidentally pays in dollars. So a lot of a comment here to take in. I do believe the banks are already positioning themselves. Banks are buying precious metals. Do you think the precious metals are going up solely based off of us, everyday people? No, we don't control it. And here's why I can prove to you we don't control it. Because the true stackers that believe in silver and have no intent on getting rid of it are still slowing their purchases down. Why? Because the price is too high. Bills are going up. We can't buy what we once could. And that goes for precious metals too. But yet the price is still going up. Industrial demand is high. But is it really higher than it was a year ago? I mean, that's an iffy thing. Personally, I'm not convinced the industrial demand has skyrocketed to take us to double. I don't think they're producing double the solar panels this year than they did last year. Double the cell phones, double the computers. Is there more? Yes. Is it double? I don't think so. So if it's not us and it's not industrial demand, then who is it? That only leaves countries, banks, governments as the big players. Who are the big players? They could be anybody from China, India, the U.S., J.P. Morgan, major banks that are positioning themselves. And I believe banks are positioning themselves. A lot of banks have been shorting. A lot of them are getting scared, so they're selling their short positions, settling, and, not rebuying them short positions. Eventually, we will slowly see the price continue to climb. In my personal opinion, not financial advice. Soon we will see some sort of a recession. That's the chaos that he was talking about. I think we're already in a semi-recession. Maybe they're hiding it a little bit. Maybe it's just they don't talk about it so people don't really know it. it's in everybody's best interest to keep the game going as long as they can. Is it in mine and yours best interest? Actually, it is. The longer they keep this game going, the longer I can keep stacking precious metals. When this game comes to an end, it is going to be devastating. And when all else fails, they take us to war. And there you have eventually what will probably be another major war. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, the U.S., I think, when the dollar collapses, is taking every currency with it, essentially. I don't think that the dollar is going to collapse and every other currency is just going to rise to the surface as the dollar just sinks. I think when the dollar sinks, it's taking out most countries with it. And because that will happen, that will pretty much be it. People just will miss out. And some people will regret popping into a video like this, hearing it, and not doing anything about it. China is overrun with solar panels. I'm sorry. Now, Hase? I don't think I pronounced that comment right. No way. It's No Way Jose. I'm sorry. No Way Jose. China is overrun with solar panels. I went there, and they just use them for fencing miles and miles of it because it's not worth recycling efforts. Crazy, huh? If that is true, I've never been to China. I've never been anywhere in Asia yet. I always have people ask me, you want to go to the Philippines or Thailand or one of these places? You've never been there. I've watched enough videos on it that, these YouTubers, they show the bad side of the Philippines. They show the good side of the Philippines. And yes, Filipinos are poor, and if you have any kind of retirement, you're probably living a pretty good life, a decent life over there compared to high prices here. So yeah, I mean, it's possible if that's what's going on. I mean, it could be hard to recycle there, to get out anything major. And here's the thing, you could probably strip the silver, the circuit board out, and that's probably where most of the precious metals is. As for the other stuff, I mean, a lot of places don't recycle. It's not worth it financially yet. But that day will come. When silver goes to its true value, people may even start digging up landfills to try to get everything they can get out of it, knowing that the majority of the stuff has already broken down, and now all that's there is the actual tangible items. It'd be interesting to see how that all plays out. By that point, we could have nanotechnology, where nanobytes just go in and just salvage everything for them. Who knows? Let's see here. Trust your math. Definitely, I trust my math. I'm pretty confident, Matthew, with precious metals. I can tell you that. I trust mine before I trust theirs. Let me put it that way. Robert with the stars. Thank you so much for the 5 stars. I appreciate that. I appreciate you watching, commenting. Okay, Walks With Me. Comment. Did you ever think that an ounce of silver would be more than a barrel of oil? $64+ I heard the other day saying sell silver because it's going back to the 30s. I was saying please. But they're not selling theirs. No. They want you to do what they say, not what they do. They're buying silver. I'm going to get into that, though, because that is very interesting to see a price of a barrel of oil equal to an ounce of silver. I heard a big analyst saying that oil is undervalued and will correct to the upside. It's a good time to buy, according to them. They were recommending oil tanker companies like SLB and other oil companies' stock. Let's see. My budget cannot buy a tanker. I bet you can buy stock in a tanker company. Okay, so let's talk about this for a quick minute. I think that's absolutely right. It is interesting to see a barrel of oil for the same price as silver. But some of you all may not have even caught this. Saudi Arabia put out a press conference not too long ago. It was probably 6 months. And they said, be very careful. This message to the United States. Be very careful about playing games with the oil price, because you may wake up one morning to a big surprise. Now, what they meant by that is speculation. I'm convinced that they realize that people are paper shorting oil to try to manipulate the price down. How did you have silver go down to negative $40 at one point? Purely manipulation. And in that time period, the U.S. was ready to buy a ton of oil. I think the U.S. does play games with the market pricing, and essentially Saudi Arabia ends up footing the bill. Now, there is a second side of that. Saudi Arabia may know what's going on, and they say, let them play the games, and in the meantime, keep buying physical silver. Because it's a chess game. It's all a chess game. Figure out what your opponent is strategizing. Let them play it out. Use it to your advantage, and then crush them when the time comes. I think that's actually what's going on. The U.S. is playing games with the oil prices, manipulating it down, thinking low oil prices helps the economy. And I believe it does. It helps the economy make our products a little bit cheaper, make us feel like we're doing well, because when we go to fill up our car at the pump, gas prices are not horrible right now. Depending on where you are, you might think they're horrible, but they're not as horrible as they've been. And Saudi Arabia says, just let it go for right now. Keep picking up silver. We can still justify this game. We might be losing on oil for the time being, but we're collecting silver, gold. We're dumping dollars. We're dumping U.S. treasuries. We're putting in hard assets. Once the trap is sprung, maybe they're all in on it together. Maybe. Maybe they're playing against each other, and it's every man for themselves. Knowledge is power. The more you know, the more advantage you have. If you know what's going to happen, you're in a good spot. Dr. K, my man, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Remember when we were all excited about silver hitting $38? Those were the good old days and goodbye days. I mean, August? Man, this run has been crazy. With a reply to that, the Market Sniper, Finance Hunt, had a big announcement celebration on his channel when silver reached $40. I remember it. It was fun. So silver has been a crazy road. We're seeing it climb. I remember when silver hit, was it $32? When it got crushed, and it might have been 38. I can't remember. And I ended up using my credit card. I'd have to pull up the chart. And I bought on a credit card and 0% interest for, oh shoot, let's see, it was right here. So I'm sorry, silver got up $34, and then it got crushed on April 4th. And what time is it? Man, they're already out spraying. I hate to do this. I got to get up and shut my windows. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Just shutting my windows. I had them open, actually. It's this nice cool breeze. Okay, I am almost back. It's a long video. I had to get up and shut my windows because it was a nice cool breeze tonight. So I wanted to open my windows, but now they're going around and they're spraying for mosquitoes. And I hate that spray when they go around with them trucks. And they don't usually do it this early in the morning. But at least I haven't noticed it. But it's almost 2:30 in the morning where I'm at. So I remember when silver got to $34. It plunged all the way down to 28. I didn't catch the bottom exactly. I got it for, well, actually, I guess it priced down to $27.80. I got it at probably, $28.50. And I bought a bunch with my credit card. A lot of people laughed at me. time went on, and some people said they bought with their credit card and it dipped. I don't know how that was even possible. They could have lost at that point if you bought like when I did at 28. It was a slow climb. But some people actually bought 34 and they saw that dip and they freaked out. And then it took a little while before it climbed up. But then once it climbed, popped, it kept climbing. Same thing happened here, dip. Same thing happened here, dip. Nice climb, slight consolidation, another big jump higher, a slight drop. I'm hoping we're not forming this pattern again, but if we are, October 20th to November 12th, 22 days, 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, we will be into the new year, and I think we will be a whole lot higher than we are right now. So I'm not stressing it, and then we'll be off to the races. The new year is here. All of our big gains, I won't say will be washed away, but they will be hidden, and that will be it. People won't be talking about 115% climb on silver. Here's the thing. I don't think silver is anywhere near the top. Why? When silver gets near the top, you will see Jim Cramer come out and say, oh, silver has done amazing. Y'all need to go out and buy it. I understand it's $250 an ounce, $500 an ounce. It's had an amazing run, but we really think it's going to go a whole lot higher. That's when they're going to talk about it. You can see it on every mainstream channel. It's exciting until they start talking about it. Once they start talking about it, that's when I'm like, oh, boy, that's it. And a time may come where, people look back and they're like, what? An ounce of silver is that much? I used to be able to get a whole tube of it for that. It's coming. Gold, $4,363. Silver at $76.40. Silver at $64.62. 89-cent premium. Oh, okay, I get you. I see what it is. I'm gonna start rereading that. Gold at $4,363. I'm guessing that $76 is the premium on that. Silver is $64.62, 89-cent premium, I'm guessing. And platinum, $1,784, $76 premium. See how the day ends. Yeah, that comment was written early in the day because we went a whole lot lower in those numbers. But that's okay. Water on the bridge. And I'm thinking those are premiums, but those also could have been where it was at and how much it was up for the day already. That could be what that number was. Monument Metals, silver, slapped. Hold on. What was I reading? What? Where did I get Monument Metals? Okay. Moments later. I don't know why I even said Monument Metals. I'm sorry. Moments later, silver slapped down $1.60. Gold, $50. Oh, it was the same person writing it. Just so we know that they slapped down the price of silver. But here's the thing. Not worried about it. And more carnage. Silver down over $3 in a couple hours. Where are all the 65, 75, 100 sayers? It's one day, dude. We saw a one-day drop that erased yesterday's gains, the day before's gains. Water under the bridge. Chris Paul, I don't think he's a silver stacker, but that's okay. He's always on the videos, so I'll take the naysayers. I don't mind. So where are all the $65, $75, $100 predictions? I've been at this for 25 years, and yes, things been going great, but the tribe will always strike and knock the crap out of metals for their profit. So, yeah, I'm not going to lie. They're going to try. But here's the thing. You think they would have let it go to $65 if they could keep it down to $50, to $40? They can't do it anymore. They're doing everything they can to beat the price down when they have an opportunity to. Somebody is going to end up sweeping in and buying it up. Mark my words. You will see $75 by the first month of next year. So you can think how you want. By the end of January, we will probably see $75. Not financial advice. Kramer, what a coincidence. I just kind of talked about him. Kramer on TV is an instrumental tool only to provide retail fear liquidity so institutions can buy, or provide retail fear of missing out so institutions can sell. This is the way. The Kramer indicator. Do the opposite. It actually works. And that's so funny. That's the second time tonight that I said something and then a comment popped up about it. When he comes out and says silver is a great buy at $200, $300, that's when I know I'm going to try to get rid of some of my stack if I can. Find somewhere else to put that money. Are you still buying silver strong? I've cut mine in half, but I'm still buying. I am buying slow. I picked up something today. I spent $200. Not a lot. I know some people out there will be like, dude, that's so small. You haven't seen me open any big packages. That's it. I had one person asking me, how do you get all the silver that you show? A lot of the stuff I show ain't mine. I've said that time and time again. I open up people's packages in the past. I helped them order it, and then I end up doing a video of it. They're proud of what they got. They don't care if I show it on the channel. A lot of my silver that I show is not my silver. So it does give me an advantage. It gives you guys something to look at, something for me to talk about, something for me to keep content going up. Let's see. Send me your old phones. I'll refine them. Heck, I'll even get the data for you. You need them off. Yeah. Oh, so my phones are off. They've just been sitting there. Well, I shouldn't say that. I have 2 active phones right now, but I make out from those 2 phones in other ways. T-Mobile Tuesdays, free bonus apps, Sonic 12 Days of Christmas, where Sonic's giving out something free every day. Taco's giving out free stuff. Circle K is giving out free stuff every day for the month. All these little things add up to free money. T-Mobile Tuesday gives something free every Tuesday. There's a lot of little things you can do with a cell phone to get it to pay itself off, essentially. It's too late to get 1,000 ounces and still make money. No, I don't think so. My personal opinion, not financial advice. It's still a buying opportunity. Precious metals are money. Do you know what I mean? Let's see. If you are not a chat bot, then please explain what you mean. So Matthew is not a chat bot, and neither is Reese. What he means by that, Matthew, is it's too late to get 1,000 ounce bar and still make money. He's basically saying $6,200 is too high. That maybe there's not really the opportunity. I don't like 1,000 ounce bars. I don't even like 100 ounce bars. Usually the 1,000 ounce bars are actually sent over to refineries. They take 1,000 ounce bar, they bust it down into 1,000 individual ounces, maybe 2,000 half ounces, and then they sell them at a higher premium. Precious metals are money. And that's a true statement. Money is, by definition, something that you cannot manipulate and control. The price of precious metals, it's limited in quantity. You hold it, you own it. It's divisible. It's barterable. You can use it. It just keeps working. It holds value. If we're using dollars that are losing value, then precious metals is getting more expensive. Everything is getting more expensive because the money is losing value. What we're using as money, the fiat currency, is losing value. If we were using gold as money, it wouldn't be losing value. Reese saying, do you know what I mean? I know what you mean on that. And like I said, if you're a chatbot, please explain. I think that was a pretty good explanation for you in case he don't explain. Sometimes people realize there are chatbots coming in these rooms, and there are. I can usually spot them. The way you can spot them, you click on their icon, see how new their account is. If their account is within 30 days, generally, they're probably a bot. Because most of the people that watch this channel and aren't bots, They have commented numerous times on the video. Let's see here. Open new tab. Let's pull it up real quick for you. This is not a chat bot. This is a person that's going through watching certain types of videos. Stumbled in, probably not a huge, I'm going to say, this account's been open since 17. Not a chat bot. I want to say I've seen the comments before from Matthew. You can watch the videos he's watched. Chatbots don't watch videos generally. They just stick to silver content and trash talk it every chance they get. So, continuing on. Almost at the end here. I know this video was super long. Nunya stealing our money and keeping us in debt while enriching themselves off of our production and sending money to foreign nations to fund our own destruction. Unfortunately, that is a pretty good analysis of what's happening. And in some cases, just wasting our money, trying to convince us that money is not gold and silver, trying to convince us to keep using the dollar because the dollar is it. And that's why they will roll out eventually central bank digital currencies. Mark saying silver's over $64, and Chris Paul coming in. Check again, buddy. Nope. Yeah, I mean, silver did take a hit, but it's not worrying. I mean, we'll be right back up there. We've played this game. We've heard this. We've seen it at 54 and then 48 and then 60. I mean, it's a game they're doing. They're pushing the weak hands out. If you're scared that silver is not going to go up, then you're not going to buy it. If you think silver is going to go down, you're going to sell. They are convincing you to think what they want. And the people that believe this BS are going to be left with nothing. And they're going to be like, man, don't I feel stupid? I mean, think of all the people that have came out and said, oh, silver ain't going to go to 30. Silver ain't going to go to 40. Silver ain't going to go to 50. We've seen it time and time again. And I know Chris Paul ain't a bot. I was just pulling up his account real quick to look at something. It used to show me on my phone. I can actually pull up all of his comments, and that's what I was about ready to pull up. And I was hoping I was going to pull it up and see your comment when silver hit 40. That maybe you were a little against it. But I can't do it from the computer. I used to be able to do it. So let's see here. I was looking for something, but I can't see your previous contents from here. But no big deal. Chris, it's water under the bridge. To me, it's a moot point. We went up, $6, $7 in the last week. We came down $2 on Friday. It doesn't matter. When silver hits $50 again, you got my permission. I will stand there with you and say, damn, we should have sold. But even then, I don't think people will be selling at 50. And that is going to be one of my requirements. Silver would have to go down to 50, and you'd still have to be able to go to AppMax and be able to buy it for a reasonable price, not $50 with a $20 premium. So we'll see how that plays out. Unknown, good morning, T. Everyone, welcome new members. Little algo food. Thank you so much. You send that email yet, T? I've been looking, but could have gone to my spam. I'll have to look. I don't think I did send it. It's just been so crazy this week. Basically, the email is just going to be all those those glass Pokemon balls. So you can see it. Make sure you're happy with the video. I don't even know if you ever did see the video short. And I need to get your physical address again. But if you're watching this, which I don't know if you'll make it this far into the video. This video has been running longer than I would have thought. So you probably ain't even seen this far into it. But The Pokemon balls are right. I don't even know where the video is now. Darn it. Unless it got deleted on accident. Out sick today. I remember that video. That was funny. Doggone it. I don't know where the Pokeball video went. I was just going to show it real quick. Not show the video, but they're all the glass Pokeballs. Just to make sure. Oh, well, there's one, but is that the one that's public or is that the one I got in trouble for? My Pokeball collection. You can check that video. Make sure that you do like them before I send them out to you. Let's see here. Next comment. It helps if you send me an email first. I'll be honest, unknown. So then I look and see it. tsquaretalktome@gmail.com. That's TOME to me. Some people, they want to put a 2 there or TWO or, so. Let's see. Dr. Detroit, what's up? Nothing wrong with taking a little profits and selling on the upswing. But silver market is not made in your neighborhood coin shop. I agree. I've said that already just tonight. I agree. Newbies need to understand this. Stop being a normie. Yeah, I said that in today's video earlier. The silver markets, we don't have a huge impact on it. So when we see everybody selling, it doesn't mean the big players are selling. And when we see everybody buying, it does not mean the big players are buying. However, I'm convinced right now the big players secretly are buying, trying to acquire as much as they can. Let's see. If you are going to play in the stacking game, know the metals. I mean everything about it. Know the market. I mean everything about it. And above all, know yourself and why you are really stacking, which is actually number 4 in my, basically, I don't want to say book yet, because I don't know if I'll be able to take it to a book level, but it is chapter 4. Understand why you're buying precious metals. If silver drops to $30, I will buy a monster box full of it. That's what Dictator Detroit said. Yeah, I don't think you'll be alone. I think a lot of people will be trying to get it if it drops to 30. So that's why, that brings us back to Chris's comment. Nobody around talking about $75 silver today, $85 silver day, $100 silver day. It's water under the bridge. One day. We still had a positive week. Let's take a quick look, because that's all the comments. I'm done. Long video. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart. This is a 5-day chart on silver. Look at that. 5 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, look. The price is back to what it was 2 days ago. That's it. So we lost 2 days gains in one day. But a lot of people see this big drop and they freak out. They freak out. And they don't buy. And some people will even sell. You know what? It's water under the bridge. I'm perfectly happy with this price. I wished it would have gone even lower. I hope it still does Sunday night, Monday. Monday, I'd like to see it drop even more. I'd like to see it down here on Monday. Right down here from Monday to Monday, and it's right back at $57. I'll take $57 come Monday morning. I would love that. I'm not going to be that lucky, I don't think, but I'll take it. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up here. I thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was super long. I'm afraid to look. Actually, it wasn't really that long. Hour and a half. Darn, I would have guessed it would have been a lot longer than that. Check out some of these other great videos. I'm putting them right here so you can just click the hyperlink. It will take you right to the video. If you didn't see one of these 3 videos, these are some awesome information packed in right here. With that being said, thank you all for watching, commenting. 2:30 in the morning. I will see y'all tomorrow, and this video should go up. Well, you guys are watching it tomorrow, actually, so it's Saturday morning. I may even be on again tonight and start talking about chapter 1 in my upcoming class that I'm trying to put together. That way I can get y'all's tips, ideas, that type of stuff. Thank y'all for watching, commenting. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd be shocked if you made it to the very end of this video. And if you're not subscribed and you made it this far, that would really be mind-blowing. So, hour and a half, not bad. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. And tonight. I'll see y'all tonight, too. So, bye-bye.